I've even read the whole novel in the week since I wrote these notes. So
Wow, that's exciting.
Oh, well, for regular listeners will know, it's usually Jeff who's read unless I read the book prior, I don't necessarily go and grab the book. Like Wicked and I can't remember what else we did that you'd also gone and read.
Mary Poppins. Never-ending Story.
Neverending Story, definitely. I'd read the Mary Poppins books back when I was a kid, but I did not reread them. Whereas
Princess
I happened
Bride?
to find...
I read Princess Bride.
Oh, yeah. See, there's a heap.
Yeah.
Whereas I happened to find the book Prestige in my op shopping adventures.
So cool. Is it called Prestige as well?
Yes, it's called The Prestige.
Ooh, that's pretty art.
Yeah, and it obviously is like a version that's been done very recently after the book came out, after the movie came out, because it's got like heaps of references to the movie on there. It's even got the little like blurby bit where it says Warner Brothers and Touchstone Pictures present a new market, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched a movie with Andy Serkis in it last night, actually. And David Tennant. So I'll have that. Must remember to mention that come recommendations time. And listeners, if you want to know what movie I'm talking about, you got to listen to the whole episode.
You're listening to The Great and Secret Knowledge. I'm Jeff, and with me, of course...
I'm Jessie. Hello.
Jessie. It's so good to see you.
I'm very excited, Jessie.
Yes, we're doing The Prestige.
The Prestige!
It's one of the bigs. Christopher Nolan. This came about because we were kind of debating what's our favorite Christopher Nolan. We're partial to The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, all of them, yeah. I like The Dark Knight Rises out of all the Batman ones.
You're more of a Memento than I am.
Yeah, I like Memento. I like Inception, whereas I don't like Tenet, and I don't like Interstellar.
Yeah, I respect those films, but they're not quite for me.
Inception and Memento.
Interstellar and Inception.
Interstellar is just not for me. Unnecessarily convoluted. I've tried multiple times, because I normally love time travel.
Mm-hmm.
But don't give me actual science behind it. I want magic stones. I want a blue box.
Right, yeah.
I just need a portal. I don't need science behind it. And I think they try too hard to justify...
For me, when that movie was at its height, was when it gave us that visual representation of the bookshelf. It was weird. Oh. It was something we've never seen before. And it was kind of a fantasy thing of being able to talk to your kid through a bookshelf. Like, it was... To me, that's the stuff, rather than the science of a thing that's not real.
Yeah, I just think the focus on building the science around it, whereas Inception is one of my all-time favorite films. Like, I wouldn't make it in... I don't know if it'd make a top 5, just because there's some triggery stuff for me. But train-related, I don't do well with that. But it was very... Like, to then go and... I love DiCaprio. And I love dream concepts. Like, we all know Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is my all-time favorite film. So yeah. I always kind of, when I first watched Inception, I was like, oh my God, it's like Eternal Sunshine, but with a budget.
Yay.
And spy film type energy. But I think Joseph Gordon-Levitt is he really wins that film for me.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite scene is the fight where they're going around and how they actually film that, because, as we know, I'm far more into production secrets than Jeff is.
Was it like a turning car?
Yeah, it was an actual physical effect.
Cool.
And physical effects always hold up better.
Oh, yeah. I just watched the episode with Sophia, the Dauphin from season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation. And it's full of weird practical effects. The green screen and stuff where like the normal character turns into this bear-like creature with bug eyes. So cool.
Yeah, it just has something like more to like this podcast I've been listening to, which is all very production detail based. I just listened to their Jurassic Park episode, and it's like that shit holds up.
All right, well, let's get into it. We don't have to talk about Christopher Nolan. We've talked about him before. The guy,
Can we? Please.
Guy's a legend. Well, we talked about Dunkirk. We, he makes big, well-crafted stories. Who wrote this one? The Prestige.
His brother, I think.
Jonathan Nolan?
Yeah. Or they wrote it together.
Based on the book, of course.
By Christopher Priest. The book is by?
Looks like Chris Nolan had some input as well. He's listed as one of the 3 writers.
Oh, yeah, screenplay by Jonathan Nolan and Christopher Nolan. Well, they often wrote together on the screenplays, I believe.
Jonathan Nolan is fantastic. He wrote, along with his wife, Lisa Joy, Westworld, which I just love to pieces.
Which Michael Crichton, I found out, directed the original movie of.
Michael Crichton.
Who wrote Jurassic Park.
He directed
He's also a director. Mm-hmm. He actually was a director first and was quite well known and good mates with Steven Spielberg, which is why, because Jurassic Park was originally written as a screenplay.
Wow.
And then became a novel adaptation before the movie got made. So that's why they, like Spielberg, optioned it so quickly, because they knew each other from back in the day working on stuff together. Which is a very, very cool thing.
Looks like he wrote the short story they built Memento around. Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, this guy gets it. He also wrote 103 episodes of Person of Interest, which I have yet to see.
No, neither have I. Not my... We know I don't like procedurals.
Yeah, it's got some sort of Minority Report thing element to it. So it would be possible to do it on our show, but I can't imagine doing 8 seasons or whatever it is of a show.
Oh, no.
And Jim Caviezel. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything with Jim Caviezel. That guy's a dick.
Oh, is he? Why? I don't know that.
He's just a right-wing freak, and...
So that explains why Mel Gibson cast him as Jesus?
Probably, yeah.
You guys can have him back. I'm all right with that. He was born in America. He's not Australian.
Cool. We'll deal with him.
Yeah, please. Please, you can keep Mel Gibson. We've got other better options now. And one of them is in this movie.
Hell yeah. So that's the writers and the director. We'll get into the stars as we go. Let's get into the events of this film. I'm firing up my video just to have it handy.
Yeah, I am too.
And it starts completely silent. I'm over here checking my audio settings. Like, surely there's going to be
I did the same thing. When I was watching it, I was like, wait, what? We're only... This is too quiet. What? There's something wrong here?
And we go from the black credits to all these top hats on somebody's lawn.
I don't know who that might be.
Brown grass. So it's got to be the autumn or the winter time, maybe.
Well, he's up in the mountains where those hats are. As we find out later, he's in the Rockies in Colorado.
In the mountains. Oh,
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, and now we just get this amazing monologue to start the show from
Well, before Michael Caine, you hear Christian Bale say,
Are you watching closely?
Yes.
Now, this is where I'm going to steal a little bit from our friend Will, where what he always says about this film is the film itself is a magic trick. And you know this because they, like, literally the first thing you hear is Christian Bale saying, Are you watching closely?
And they say if you're trying to crack a magic trick to pay attention to what happens away from the distraction.
Yes.
So, like, we're just getting to the film. There's no music. We see some top hats. It's like, you might want to remember this bit. But, of course, you don't because you're just
No, of course.
taking it all in.
Especially on that first watch.
So we're cutting across from a bunch of canaries in a cage or multiple cages. And Michael Caine is given this legendary explanation of stage magic. Every magic trick consists of 3 parts or acts.
Bless you and your Michael Caine accent.
The first part is called the pledge.
Not called those things. They've got different words for them in the book.
Ooh.
So the pledge and the turn are not called the pledge and the turn in the book. That is something that... Yeah, and you don't even realize who the little girl he's showing the trick is to as well. We will find out who she is later.
Borden's daughter, obviously.
Yes. Jess.
Jess.
Good name.
Good name, yeah. So, yeah, we're in a crowd. There's a guy all lit up in the spotlight. We got a big fancy machine. My next note is somebody hassles Christian Bale. I'm not sure what.
It's the backstage
Oh,
guy.
he tries to go. He goes back into
he
the
goes
behind
backstage.
the scenes.
Right.
Rips off his beard. Clearly, he's got an anger problem. I'm part of the bloody act, you fool.
That happens in the book.
Downstairs, there's a blind guy. That's odd.
All of the backstage hands.
Of course, we learned that he only has blind stage hands because he doesn't want anybody to find out he's killing fools.
Himself.
Yeah. So the second act is called The Turn. Jackman's got a big machine sparkling. He's walking into it. Caine makes the girl laugh with the canary. Can't quite remember what happens there. Oh, he smushes it.
Well, you hope. Because he does create a form of the trick that doesn't kill the bird later.
Right.
So you hope it's that one.
And all of a sudden, Jackman's drowning. Making something disappear isn't enough.
Got to make
You
it
have to
reappear.
bring it back. Oh, that kid's cute.
She is. She's a real little cutie.
So next up, Mr. Cutter, Michael Caine's being interviewed in court. We find out he's what's called an ingenieur. He makes machines for magicians.
His character is... He's kind of an amalgam of multiple different characters from the book. Like, Cutter is there, but he's a much smaller part, and he is not Angier's ingenieur. He's just kind of an old magician who he learns from.
Cool. So he mentions Borden's the defendant from the stand, and the defense doesn't object. So in a normal trial, the defense would be like, I need that stricken from the record where he says Borden must have placed it under the trapdoor.
Yes, that's true.
Like, that's grounds for a mistrial.
Maybe not in London in the 19th century, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends on how much money he has and how respected he is. You can get away with a lot more.
And he's quite well respected and quite famous at this point. They both are.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, both Borden and Angier are very famous at this point.
Interesting.
Because they've both had highly successful careers performing.
So they want him to tell him how the machine works, and he's like, it's a very valuable trick, but I will tell you behind the scenes to the judge directly. Borden
the
waves
seriousness
to this kid in prison.
And there's a man standing behind that kid who we will come to know as Fallon.
Oh, yes, of course. And then we got some dude that looks kind of like an old Kyle MacLachlan. Not sure his name. Oh, I guess his name is Jamie Harris? No. Mark Ryan? No. Roger Reese. He plays Owens, the lawyer or solicitor. This prison guard clearly doesn't think much of Borden because he's being a dick.
Well, he's escaped a bunch of times. That's how they've, he keeps using his magic to kind of... So they've got him locked up like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
He does look like Kyle MacLachlan.
So he's here on behalf of Lord Caldlow, who's an amateur magician. Borden says, how much for my tricks? And it sounds like he's got a lot of money. But one of the things they're offering is to take care of his daughter.
We get a lot of mention of the workhouse here, and I do want to just take a second and acknowledge how horrific workhouse conditions actually were and what the actual situation behind them was. Because I've read a book by the woman who the books from Call the Midwife is based on, and it's called Shadows of the Workhouse, and it is the level of desperation you had to get to, because you would have been like, you would get separate. Like if you had kids, you'd be separated from your kids. You would be forced, and you would never see them again. The mistreatment that went on, the horrors of the workhouse. You had to, and they believed they kind of had to be like, we need to make sure this is somewhere people aren't going to just want to go. And so it's like a prison, and almost impossible to get yourself out of once you're in there, because the stigma and the stench of it and the horror of it, it is beyond words. Like, my only other knowledge of it prior to reading this other book and this was Oliver Twist, which does not quite cover just how horrific and badly treated, and she would have been like absolutely abused and mistreated, and the desperation of it.
Yeah, there's a notable lack of sexual abuse in Dickens for obvious reasons. It was in the newspaper, but yeah, it was all manner of horrors, top to bottom.
And they just kind of drip feed it a little bit, but you got to understand why, because he's got to be desperate enough to give up his tricks.
Yeah. So let's see. Caldlow's going to take the girl on as a ward. So immediately I'm thinking Caldlow must be behind whatever the trick is of this movie. But because Angier never plays him...
Before you knew it was Caldlow and Angier were the same person?
I have no idea what happened the first time. It was so long ago.
Because I very much kind of dismissed the existence of Caldlow my first watch because I was just trying to absorb as much as I could. I did not know the twist.
Mm-hmm.
And, long-time listeners will know, I really hate it when I figure out a twist.
Yeah.
And this is one of the ones that's got me harder than anything else I've ever seen. Which is why I love this film so much, because I love going back over it and going, oh, there's a detail I missed.
Hell yeah. So he says, consider your daughter. And for some reason I wrote, that's some sick shit. I'm not sure.
Well, he's basically using this little girl as a...
Yeah, I guess
Boy,
it's like people should take care of children regardless, but this isn't that time period. Using kids as leverage, I guess, is totally fine.
Yeah, there were no child labor laws or...
Ugh.
And it's particularly a young girl forced into the workhouse. Often the way out of it for them would be through sex work, but not in a healthy humanitarian way that it exists now.
Right. This is not a highly evolved democracy with protections for that sort of thing, and certainly not for kids.
Yeah, certainly not for criminals' kids.
But as a show of good faith, Owens gives him a copy of Angier's diary. So we get some voiceovers.
Now, the diaries are interesting because that is the only perspectives you get in this in the book from them. The book is set in a modern situation where there's an ancestor of Angier and an ancestor of Borden, and there's this whole thing where he believes he's got a twin, but he doesn't have a twin. And spoilers for the book, but it does turn out that he, as a young kid, had been put through the Tesla machine.
Wow.
So he has a twin, but it's a dead version of himself. As
That's
a little
bonkers.
kid that he finds as an adult, and he was adopted out, and then he's meeting up with the ancestor of Angier. She is an actual woman. And so you get a chapter from his perspective in the modern, then you read Borden's book, and that is both of them writing it, but they both speak in the first person. So therefore you don't know which, you can kind of start to gauge which twin's writing which.
Wow.
And it's very interesting. And so that's an entirety of its own self. Then you get another modern bit from her perspective. Then you get Angier's diary. And then you get the last bit at the modern. So all of the oldie time stuff is all from the first person in the form of the diaries of both Borden and Angier. And that's all you get.
Both of them are unreliable narrators.
Of course, because it's their own perspective on the same circumstances. And so you can kind of cross-reference with the dates of what Borden's perspective of a situation was, and then wasn't much later in the book you get Angier's perspective of that same scenario.
Yeah.
It's very cool, very, if you think the non-linear storytelling, because Nolan loves some non-linear storytelling, I think we can agree.
Yeah.
His Batman movies.
Alex J would hate this. Did she cover it on this show? On
Ooh,
Dude
I
Cinema?
think they might have. I think they liked it, though.
Oh, okay. Because it'll just switch between 3 or 4 different time periods, and you got to keep up.
So there is an average of 1 timeline jump per minute when they're averaged out across the film.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's some good statistics.
Told you, I'm more prepared for this.
But Angier's is going on a search for answers, and he takes a train to Colorado. He gets to the hotel. The guy's like, what does he say? Like, he wants to go up the mountain, and the guy's like, well, the peak's closed, sir, for scientific experimentation. And he's like, yes, I know. My passion is equal to the task. He says he's here for it. Beautiful snowy woods. He's got a nice cravat. There's even the carriage is beautiful. Did you catch this red carriage?
No.
As he comes from the hotel. It's beautiful. He gets to an old-timey electric fence. Gets
Which,
zapped.
at this point, there was not much electricity.
Mm-mm.
The current wars were happening, as we will find out. As someone who works in energy, I'm a particularly big nerd for the whole Tesla, Edison, Westinghouse drama. I love the way they've brought them like they've got them writing to each other through their diaries.
Yeah, that's very cool.
That doesn't happen in the book because you've got this modern thing. You've got the modern people reading the diaries. So
I noticed that Tesla's house, we don't get a lot of exterior views of it, but it has a bit of a Frank Lloyd Wright-y vibe to it, like a much more ahead of its time in late 1800s than, say, 1950 or whenever Frank Lloyd was doing his thing. We get this shotgun bloke with a leather apron. This guy has the weirdest mouth.
Gollum!
Sorry?
It's Gollum.
Oh, it's Andy Serkis. Well, of course. Incredible.
And there's a really fun little Easter egg in there, which I don't know if it's an actual Easter egg because I don't think he would have been cast in... Oh, maybe. He does the little trick when Angie is walking away. He's like, I've seen your magic. You're incredible. The way you used to be able to see. And he's like, what have I got in my pocket?
Yes.
Hey.
Yep. And he's walking away. He says, your watch. I'm getting a sense that Jackman is like projecting kind of a hidden sadness under his face here. Like he's been through a lot.
Now, this is the point about their acting, right? Do you think there's something to the method?
Do you mean I think that
Like, as in method
is
acting?
Christian Bale a more convincing actor than Hugh Jackman?
Yeah, Christian Bale is an extreme method actor. Hugh Jackman brings elements of the method to his acting style, but he is not a method actor. Not to the same way that, like, Christian Bale or Daniel Day-Lewis or... I think Pacino uses the method as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Hugh Jackman's a song and dance man. He probably trained at art school.
Yeah, he went to NIDA. No, he didn't go to NIDA. He went to WAPA.
Right.
Which is the West Australian Performing Arts Academy, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he would not. We've got two major respected acting schools in Australia, which is NIDA, the National Institute of Dramatic Arts, on the east, and then on the west there's WAPA, which is where Heath Ledger went. And I'm pretty sure Jackman went to WAPA.
So anyway, he's got great charisma. He hits all the right notes. He maybe doesn't go all the way there, but he certainly draws out a lot of emotion.
I think he's a very good actor, but I just think Bale destroys him in this. And this is where one of my notes here genuinely says, Christian Bale, is there something to the method?
Yeah, he definitely... I mean, if you've seen The Machinist, you know, hell, if you go all the way back to Empire of the Sun, like, he's clearly doing something, you know.
I was about to say that's one of my favorite films. That is like my mum's favorite film. I love that film. He's sitting there up against John Malkovich, who is one of the best actors getting around, and he goes with him beat for beat as a 13-year-old in his first film. I love Empire of the Sun. Put it on the watch party list.
There's a quote here: two young men who never intended to hurt anyone.
So much of this is built around the toxic masculine trait of not being able to let shit go, and revenge seeking and attention. Like in Deadlock, you know, they're always like, women kill to solve a problem, men kill for attention.
Ooh. Yeah. So this is Borden writing, and Angier is reading his journal. So that's interesting. So now we've got nested storylines. So Borden is saying, we were two young men at the start of a great career, two young men devoted to an illusion, two young men who never intended to hurt anyone. Now, of course, we think he's talking about him and Angier, but what if he's just talking about him and his brother?
I assume he is talking about him and his brother, because the only person who actually gets hurt by one of the revenge things intentionally is Borden when Angier shoots his thumb off.
Yeah.
Whereas when Angier dies, it's all a setup. Well, that version, that prestige material. The only one who actually makes the choice to hurt someone else is Angier.
Fascinating.
I'm very much Team Borden, by the way, in case you haven't noticed. Like, if in my head, there's a good guy and a bad guy here. Or two good guys and a bad guy.
Isn't destroying someone's career pretty bad? I mean, obviously it's not attempted murder, but it's still pretty dark.
Well, it's a whole vengeance thing, and it is better explained in the book. There's no wife dead accident bullshit. That doesn't exist. It's because Angier, in the early parts of his career, was doing mentalist stuff for people who's had a recent loss.
Ooh.
So he was using magical methods to basically make money off people's grief, which then Borden finds out about, and that's how they meet.
So Borden's kind of the Harry Houdini figure here, cracking underhanded seances or whatever.
Yeah, which he had a real problem with. That's why he and Arthur Conan Doyle hated each other so much.
Ooh.
That's a fun read.
So it turns out that these two guys are ringers for this cheesy magician guy. Turns out his name is Milton, we learn later. So they come on to help bind up the woman, and Bro kisses her calf, and she smiles down at him. So clearly they know each other. She's raised up, and
He's so beautiful. Like, we were talking about how I'm just not that into ScarJo. This chick, on the other hand,
Piper Paraboo. Wow.
my type. My type, very much.
Surely you've seen Coyote Ugly.
Oh, yeah. Put that on the list of things that were responsible for my teenage queer awakening, that's for damn sure.
Hell yeah. So she's dropped in the tank. Angier looks on her with love. This curtain drops. So yeah, the trick is done. I'm not sure if we see it here, but Michael Caine is watching the stopwatch. And
yes,
the curtain goes up and she's fine. And I noticed that she doesn't seem all that wet for having just been dunked.
Oh, I thought she did. I think, you know how you can tell? Look at her hair.
Her hair's definitely wet, but like the rest of her should be, dripping.
I imagine the clothes that they would have designed her outfit to not be particularly, absorbent, I guess.
A quick dry.
Because you don't want the weight of it dragging her down in the water.
Right. But she also has to have some kind of padding so she doesn't nip out in the water.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm just designing clothes. Let's move on.
Yes.
Borden's complaining that Milton's cheesy. He's got whack tricks. He wants something new. He suggests a bullet catch, and Angier's like, Cutter's like, a bullet catch is suicide. Fallon tells him to go see the, apologies for the language, Chinaman. And he wants them to tell him how he does the goldfish bowl trick.
So the guy who that's based on, Ling something who, was actually a white guy.
Yes.
Who died in a bullet catch.
Ooh.
And that first time he ever spoke in English publicly was his final words.
Jesus.
Because he'd spent his whole life pretending to be a Chinese man who, yeah. It's very, like, yeah, it's very cool, though. Like, this really highlights, I think, one of the core differences between Angier and Borden. Angier has no natural instinct for how tricks are done. And that's something that's repeated a lot through his section of the diary in the book, where he's always like, I was clapping as much as anyone. I can't figure out how it's done. And he always has to go to other magicians to teach him how tricks are done, because he just doesn't understand the logic and the mechanics. And I think it comes from, like, I blame this on privilege of growing up as the second son of a lord.
Yep.
Whereas Borden grew up much poorer, and he sees the commitment. Like, it's why Angier never believes that there's a double, because he cannot comprehend the level of commitment that it actually takes to pull off a trick that impressive.
Yeah.
Much like the goldfish bowl.
Yeah. We get Borden talking about how we should use this other knot, and Angier's wife thinks it's a good idea, but yeah, it seems like a bad idea. So later, Angier's talking to Cutter, and he's basically, I don't trust him. And Cutter goes, he's a natural magician. Of course you can't trust him.
He's a natural magician. Of course you can't trust him.
And that's, again, it's highlighting that Borden is a better magician than Angier. But Angier has the showmanship.
Yeah. So it turns out the blonde is Angier's wife. And Cutter's like, you got to stop kissing her on stage. It looks weird. Next, we're at the Chungling Su show and the Goldfish Bowl. Borden and Angier love this trick. Borden sees through it. He says the guy lives his trick. It's the only way to escape. And he pats the wall and he goes, all this. And I just assume he means the street. Poverty, obscurity, small time. And the guy's been pretending to be a cripple for years.
But it's the commitment to the bit that makes the trick work. Because as soon as you know how a trick's done, it's actually not the not knowing that's the magic.
Yeah. So Angier's telling his wife how the Goldfish Bowl works. He's been pretending to be a cripple for years. And then he goes, it's unthinkable. I couldn't fathom it, living my whole life pretending to be someone else.
Another little seed drop there.
Mm-hmm. And then she thinks he should come out. And he's like, I don't want my fancy family to be embarrassed by my theatrical endeavors.
Oh, yeah, they threaten to cut him off. Well, they do cut him off.
Ooh.
When his dad dies, because he's the younger son. So he was never going to be the Lord.
Yeah.
And then his brother dies unexpectedly, off screen, off book, off page.
Cool. So she has a fun idea. He should be called the Great Danton. She says it's sophisticated. This is when Angier writes of Borden. What does he know of self-sacrifice? Which is one of the most short-sighted things Angier could ever say.
Oh, of course. And he is incredibly short-sighted. I don't think you're supposed to have a favorite, but I do.
Yeah.
Like, I've absolutely taken sides in this.
Well, I mean, Angier just proves himself to be a piece of shit. I mean, what is he self-sacrificed? I think he thinks of bad things happening to him as self-sacrifice. But like, he drives Scarlett Johansson away, you know.
Has multiple affairs, abandons his wife and children for years.
Ooh.
Yeah, he has a whole wife and kids who...
Jesus.
Yeah, this whole accident with the drowning doesn't happen.
Yeah, okay. So Borden closes the diary and he says, "You bloody fool." Yeah, I thought just persevering through poverty is a form of self-sacrifice. You know?
But Angier doesn't do it.
Still fighting to do art.
Yeah.
You know, when you could be out doing other things for money. We do a canary trick. Oh, Borden's doing a show. And he's doing the canary trick. And a kid sees right through the trick, and he's really upset. He's upset that this magician killed the canary, and he isn't fooled.
But look, the bird's fine, but what about his brother? Hint, hint.
Oh my God. So Borden comes up to this lady. He goes, "He's a sharp lad, your son." "He's my nephew." "Oh." So he shows the kid a coin with 2 heads. Then says something really sad. He goes, "Never show anyone. They'll beg you and they'll flatter you for the secret."
But as soon as you give it up, you'll be nothing to them. You understand? Nothing. The secret impresses no one. The trick you use it for is everything.
But it's true. The magic is in the not knowing.
Ugh. Yeah.
I think magicians are a certain type of cooked. Like, you reckon comics are bad? I once met a magician who lived in a house of comics, and it did not end well for me. That's an offline story.
I just think secrets, you know, there's a reason why in the program, like, they say, what is it? You're only as sick as your secrets. And
True.
For a magician, it's like every single day is you're planning a surprise party, you know? Like, no one can be perfectly comfortable around you. Because what if you're in the middle of a long con, you know?
And that also lines up with my experience knowing a magician. I'll tell you that story when we're done recording.
Cool. Let's see. So, Borden was pretty creepy about taking her to her front door.
Oh, it's gross.
He goes, "You think that'll keep me out?" Don't ever say that to a lady. Listener.
No.
And he's inside. We know now his brother's inside, but like he's in there making up some eggs or whatever, or making tea. And she laughs. Wow.
Ooh.
Not written by a woman.
Very clearly not written by a woman. Like, even the bit in the book that is meant to be first person from the female perspective, I'm like, oh, a man wrote this. It's so obvious.
Next, we're with the judge talking to Mr. Cutter. We see this big machine. Turns out it's been sold to Lord Caldlow. And would you look who is playing the judge? It's Dr. Moriarty, or Professor Moriarty, from Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Picard.
Also, Niles from The Nanny.
Yes, of course.
And he's American, but he always plays British.
Interesting.
They did not know, for the whole first season of The Nanny. Because he just went in and did the audition in British
That's amazing.
accent.
So Cutter says, this is real. It's not magic. Don't let Caldlow take it. Next, he explains how the murder happened. He shows the trick lock. The judge says, what a way to kill someone. And Cutter says, they're magicians, Your Honor. Showmen.
But there was never a trick lock. Every single time that lock was real. He's not escaping from that. He's drowning. He's replicated himself.
Right. They're assuming there would have been a trick lock, but it was always a death machine.
Yeah, because they don't know about the We've got to acknowledge the, like, cloning, because that's the bit that makes this speculative.
Yeah. And the judge is like, even without an audience, they care about this stuff? And he's like, oh, there was an audience, which was Borden.
Mm-hmm.
So the water tank is special to these two men. And we get a little flashback. And this is where Angier's wife, Julia, nods for Borden to use his special knot.
The Langford double.
Yeah, I still don't understand why they needed to use a different knot.
He said it holds better in the prior conversation.
Yeah. He said something about, like, she won't fall, maybe, as she's being lifted out or something, but I don't know. Seems an unnecessary risk.
This is also one of the first hints we get that one of the brothers is far more reckless than the other.
Ah.
Which there's quite a few hints. That's my favorite game to play when I'm watching this, is which brother is in any given scene.
I can't imagine even trying that one.
It's
so
fun.
now Milton goes around the thing. Dude's got his stopwatch, and he realizes that time is running out. So he has to go get an axe. And this got me feeling like there really just should be a better way to get someone out of a tank that won't open, you know?
Or you'd want to make sure that you could break through the tank in the amount of time from when you realize the trick's gone wrong to when she would likely have died. Clearly,
Yeah.
that did not.
Now, in modern days, there'd be a fail-safe, but maybe in those days...
Yeah, health and safety wasn't a thing.
Yeah. As she dies, back in the present, maybe, our boy is practicing drowning like a form of therapy. He
wants to know whether she was in any pain.
So next we're in an indoor funeral place. Bunch of little wall coffin things.
Mausoleum.
There you go. And Cutter says something about a drowning guy.
I knew someone who drowned, and that he said it was like going off to sleep, or like nearly drowned and then was brought back. Which we later find out he's lying.
Right, because he's in on the conspiracy.
No, because he wants to make his friend feel better, but later when he finds out all the fucked up shit he did, at the very end he goes, I lied. He said it was pain. Blah, 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 blah. Now this is something I only just noticed this watch through. It was something I never understood before of why when... This is where I started the game of which brother is this, because this is Albert. Not Frederick, because they're Albert and Frederick, and then when they're together, they're Alfred. That's where they got the name from. So this is the more conservative, chill one who didn't tie the knot. So right now when Angier asks him, which knot did you tie that night, and he says, I don't know.
I keep asking myself that. Which means he's asking his brother.
Right? That's how they write to each other in chapters. They're like, I'm not going to go back and delete what I wrote in the previous thing. However, this is where I was wrong. That kind of thing. So he's constantly referring back to himself, but in the first person. It's very clever.
Yeah.
I can see why Nolan just binned all of the modern shit. Smart. This is a better story without it.
Yeah. So at this present moment, I feel like there's a brother that can love and be a normal human, and then there's the other one.
Well, there's the brother that's married to Sarah, has the kid Alfred. This is, I believe, Albert. And you can tell later because when the other brother starts sleeping with Scarlett Johansson, because that's the other brother, not the married brother.
That's the dickhead brother.
She always calls him Freddie.
Yeah.
And his wife's like, why is she calling you Freddie?
Sarah does not like that.
No.
So Borden's buddy is Fallon. He's basically like his fixer. He does all the dirty work.
Which is actually a fun name. His name was Bernard Fallon, is an anagram of Alfred Borden.
Wow. That's fun.
So I have a lot of complaints here in my notes about, like, men being shit. About the
men being shit?
About the big shit on the revenge thing. I'm like, oh, just stop. Just stop. All it's going to take is one of you to stop this. To choose not to keep it going. I think I just finished Deadlock Season 2, so I was pretty fired up.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, the men are not great in that one. So it turns out Sarah is pregnant. Are they married? Have they married yet?
Yeah, they're married at this point.
Okay.
But who she's talking to, this is Freddie, not Albert. And you can tell because she says, it's not true today. And instead of focused on her needs and he's not that excited about the baby, he's just like, no, but my bullet catch.
Yeah.
See, it's a fun game.
Oh, yeah, not today.
And he plays it differently. I can almost see it in Bale's eyes. Which brother is? He's softer in the eyes, he's gentler in the eyes, whereas when this guy, he's like, his eyes are wider, brighter, more intense, more hyper, more high energy. Whereas, the other one, he's like, speaks a little softer in his intonation. Such subtle differences, this is such a brilliant performance from Christian Bale. It is, and I have read somewhere, I think he was very conscious to be aware of which brother he was playing in any given scene.
Smart. So at this show, he's got a little indie show going, and he's doing his metal rings thing. Nobody likes it. Somebody throws a glass at him. Fallon's looking around for audience participators. And then finally fucking Borden comes out with a gun, hands it to a volunteer who runs his hand over it suggestively, presumably putting something inside it.
Yeah, button. All it takes is a button because his device, when he's loading it, pulls the bullet out. But all you got to do, because the gunpowder's still in there, all you got to do is put any kind of projectile in there, and that becomes a bullet.
Yeah, that's how Brandon Lee died. I mean, not murder. I don't think anybody put shit in the barrel.
Yeah, but they did. They used the wrong prop gun. Yeah.
Ugh. So, anytime somebody points a gun in the direction of actors or the camera, I get really nervous.
Yeah, well, it happened again recently, didn't it? On that Alec Baldwin movie.
I heard somebody the other day say that he was repeatedly absolved of guilt for that situation.
I'm not blaming him. I just the only reference I
it.
have is that it was that he was famously involved. I don't think he actually so shit happened.
Yeah, I just don't know how you would film around it. Like sometimes a gun needs to be pointed at a person in a film or TV show.
Yeah, that's why blanks exist.
Yeah. Let's see. So before he shoots him, he's like, "Which knot did you tie, Borden?" And luckily Fallon pushes him right before he shoots, so it doesn't go center mass.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Like when he's as Fallon, he's so unassuming and so nothing. Like he is so generic, he just disappears, and that's what makes it such a great illusion.
Yeah. I noticed that not one person stops Angier from getting out. Obviously, it's a movie.
They're too busy laughing at Borden.
Things have to happen, but
Yeah, well, people go. That's what people would go to these sort of things for. They're like, they go hoping something goes wrong. Oh, another line there. I fought with myself over what happened that night. In the diary. One half of me swearing blind that I tied a simple slip knot. The other half convinced that I tied the Langford double.
Wow.
I can never know for sure.
And Angier is just confused. How can he not know? We see Sarah tending to his hand. Apparently it healed and then it's not healed again.
We find out why
with our
later.
knowledge, we know that his brother had to cut off his fingers as well to match him, right? And then
Yes.
Fallon must wear a glove with like fake fingers.
I mean, even Borden wears one on stage with fake fingers because that's ScarJo. That's how she's like. That's how you know he doesn't use a double because you can see his fingers have been shut off. This is all Nolan invention, by the way. That whole fingers business. Having read the book, I'm so much more impressed with the screenplay and the screenwriting on this now because they fixed so many things and what they added to the story.
Yeah, and I mean, just the image of the bullet catch is so like, that's eye-catching.
Hold on, have we found an example of one of the very rare occasions where the movie is better than the book? I think so.
I was about to say Blade Runner, and then I was like, I like the.
Did you see my face go red then?
Minority Report. That's another Philip K. Dick that I think the movie might be better.
I've not watched it because I'm still so mad about Blade Runner.
Naked Lunch, definitely.
I didn't read that because the book
movie
gave
is
me
actually
bad vibes.
watchable.
Yeah, the book gave me bad vibes when I picked it up off a shelf once and I went, oh, this is evil, and put it back.
Yeah, I've never been able to finish a William Burroughs novel.
Yeah, no. But it was very like, I'm trying to think. There aren't many. I think Wicked, because it's not because it's based on the stage show, not on the book. I don't think I draw that comparison. I can't even say Jurassic Park because that was a screenplay first.
Yeah, and I'm starting thinking of classics like Jane Austen. Like, is the TV miniseries better? Like, probably. I mean, Jane Austen is pretty damn good at her job.
And Colin Firth, you know.
But yeah, Colin Firth coming out of the water.
Whoa. I fan myself here, you know. They've like the entirety of Bridgerton. I'm trying to think. I've got multiple shelves of books that movies were based on.
Well, Sarah says, what tricks can you possibly perform with this kind of injury? And he's like, oh, there's things I can do. And I've got a new trick that they'll remember me for.
The one that he's been plotting the whole time because he says it in the early scenes where he's like, I've got a brilliant trick that no one will figure. It's like, it's not ready yet. Because he waits and bides his time.
Yeah. Back in the Rockies, Angier gets a little card at the bottom of his glass. Turns out Cutter's at the hotel. He's like, you trying to find something in that pint glass?
Never thought I'd find an answer at the bottom of a pint glass.
Hasn't stopped you looking.
It's sad that Cutter is willing to work with an attempted murderer just for the chance to make some shit.
Well, he wants to get his reputation back because no one else will work with him because he's the ingenieur that killed Julia. Like, being as the guy who's responsible for the mechanics of the trick, arguably the responsibility falls on him.
Okay, well then this just makes Cutter one of the guys working on the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Don't work for people you know or dastardly criminals. I mean, unless it's a corporation, in which case you're fucked. They're all dastardly criminals.
Yeah, well, that's part of it as someone who works in a controversial industry.
Yeah, there's a lot of fuckheads up at the top.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cutter says it's a bit old-fashioned, isn't it? Oh, about the Great Danton, the name he's going to use. And Angier goes, no, it's sophisticated.
Which is exactly what his wife said when she suggested the name.
Yeah, it's a
He's
nice
like, oh, I
touch.
don't know if I like that. And she's like, it's sophisticated. So he didn't even like the name, but because she dies, he uses that name in her honor.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. Like he gets nice, but does he get kind, compassion?
No, because it's all self-serving. Everything with Angier is self-serving.
Yeah.
Whereas I think with Borden, the commitment is to magic.
Even to the point killing a bird, I almost wonder if his not wanting to kill a bird is more about that it's icky than that it's wrong.
He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. That's the whole thing. He's come from a rich background. He wants all the acclaim, all the everything, but he does not want to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
Because that's what Borden says to him when at the very end in jail when he comes and sees him as Lord Coldwell. He's like, oh, you finally learned to get your hands dirty. Or no, when with the prestige materials.
Yeah. And in comes Scarlett Johansson, Olivia Wenscombe. She's going to be Angier's new assistant. Next, Cutter sets up this whole apparatus. He tells her to breathe as little as possible. I still don't quite understand why she had to be in the box.
Well, that's just for a different trick. If they're auditioning her to be the assistant, they need to know she fits in the secret compartment underneath the cupboard.
Right. And that she can pop out and not seem all winded. And yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about her having a rehearsal outfit in the books that explains that a bit more.
Interesting. Next, Angier's doing a rehearsal. He has a string around the dove's foot. And they show the trick to, the guy that runs the theater, or maybe he owns the theater. And this guy is legendary, William Morgan Shepherd. He played a couple roles on Babylon 5.
He's in Doctor Who. He is Mark Shepherd's father, and he plays Canton Delaware III as the older version. So
at Lake Silencio.
And he's the actual father at Lake Silencio. He's the actual father of Mark Shepherd, who's Crowley in Supernatural.
Yeah.
And Canton Everett Delaware III, the young version, in the Oval Office with Richard Nixon. I literally watched it last night. I was trying to recognize him when I was watching it the other day, and just pure coincidence, I was watching The Impossible Astronaut last night.
Oh, wow.
And so just as you said, I'm like, oh my God, it is Mark Shepherd's dad.
That's crazy. He has an incredible voice. It's real bassy and gravelly.
Yeah, just like his son.
He plays a guy called the Soul Hunter in Babylon 5. He's in Star Trek 6. He's in Transformers, Needful Things. So much good stuff. Dexter. It's Always Sunny.
Also, everyone... Oh, yeah, he is in Always Sunny. But also, everyone should, drink, because we mentioned Doctor Who.
We can't get away from it.
That's a coincidence. Like, that was pretty good that I happened to be watching that episode last night.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking about how much they look alike, because, how it was great to cast the father as the older version of the son.
That's great. Wow, he was on some TV miniseries called Texnolize.
Oh, God, that sounds
Have you ever
terrible.
Heard of this? It's a Japanese animated film. So he must have done the English language dub. In a man-made underground society, descendants of a banished generation vie for control of the crumbling city of Lux. Ichise, an orphan turned prizefighter, loses a leg and an arm to satisfy an enraged fight promoter. Well, that looks cool. I'll check that out. Terrible name, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Texnolize.
No lies. No lies. Maybe it sounds better in a Japanese accent.
Probably.
So that's William Morgan Shepherd. And he plays, what's this guy called? Mr. Merritt. And we'll see him again later on in the show.
Yeah, because he owns the theater.
He says, "You best not be intending to hurt this animal, Mr. Angier."
Yeah, because this stage, everybody kind of knows how the trick's done.
Yeah.
Like, even that little kid.
And the dove lives, and Angier says, "I thought you said I had to get my hands dirty. Someday, perhaps you will. I just had to know that you can."
I thought you said I had to get my hands dirty.
Well, someday perhaps you will. I just had to know that you can.
Mr. Merritt is pretty snarky. He's just kind of flipping shit, even though he's hiring Angier. And Cutter says, he's like, maybe you should get some new tricks. And Cutter mentions what does he say? Bullet catch or a water escape. And he says, cheap drills, Mr. Merritt. People open to see an accident. Likely to see one too.
Yes, that's why everyone's laughing when the bullet catch goes wrong.
Ugh.
Because they're all there, and that's why they didn't like the ring trick. They're like, "Oh, stop doing this. Just do the bullet catch. We're hoping something goes wrong."
That's fucked up.
That's humans. That's why Jersey Shore exists and whatnot, and Love Island.
Well, it's probably one reason why gladiator events just got crazier and crazier and crazier.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you let the basest elements of your audience dictate what you're doing. I mean, pretty soon you're at the mothership talking about trans people, you know?
No, absolutely. Like, it's
Bunch of bullshit.
It's all power, and yeah. Anyway, God, my notes are a lot angrier than I remember.
It's time for the big show. Dude's all gussied up. 2 volunteers come up to do the trick. Oh shit, one of them's Borden. And he rips the cage sideways, which activates the crunching motion, which hacks up the lady's hand, the other volunteer.
Yes. And kills the bird.
And Angier, seriously, after this, thinks he's going to get to keep doing his show. Like, woof. Mr. Merritt disabuses them of that notion right away.
Yeah, anything that's here in the morning gets burned. No, I've hired a comedian. I hate comedians.
Oh, man. I just caught a shot of Borden giving him like just the hint of a smile through his fake beard.
Yeah.
It's like, here it comes, baby. Next, Cutter sends Angier to a technical exposition at Albert Hall. He's like, you got to see what the real magic is up to.
Albert Hall is an amazing building.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's in London. It was built in memory, like, is one of the many things that Queen Victoria kind of built in memory of her husband in the long period of mourning. And it is this beautiful building with like a gold, it's near the Albert Memorial, which has this gold statue. Like, she really loved her husband. Wow. And they, like, it's a lot of very famous recordings of concerts are done there. Like, it's where the proms is. You remember the proms where they had the Doctor Who proms?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have the proms every year. Like, it's just to promote what's. I think it's to promote what's. That was just a Doctor Who specific one, if I understand it correctly.
Okay.
But that's at the Albert Hall. Robbie Williams, like, one of Robbie Williams' famous album DVDs you could get, which was live at the Albert Hall. But anyone who's in, like, it's a prestige. I'm pretty sure it's where the Royal Variety performance is. Like, it's a big deal, the Albert Hall.
Okay.
Can you tell I'm planning a trip to London?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Back in Colorado,
Tesla's guy, Ale, shows up at the bar. And, God, what does he say? The lightning lives here and not much else. Something about the diary. Let's see. It's coded and has a keyword. I've already found it. That's why I'm here. Oh, yeah, because the code word was Tesla. So that's why he's here. He wants the machine and he'll pay whatever it takes. And this is where I wrote Circus's smile is so demonic. Because this is a guy who clearly is not very humorous. So it's all a put on. It's like a creepy smile because it's not really.
I don't know. I just
happy.
watched him in something where he is genuinely likable.
Oh, interesting.
I was going to save it for Recos, but it's Eddington and Einstein, and it's about like David Tennant plays the British guy who proved Einstein's theory, basically disproving Newton.
Oh.
It's really quite good. It's clearly like straight after Tennant's run as the Doctor.
Cool.
It's very young in it. But Andy Serkis plays Albert Einstein.
Wow.
Who, bit of a hero for the neurodivergence out there. Like someone who was clearly neurospicy as fuck came up was one of the greatest minds the world's ever seen.
Oh, yeah. One of my favorite episodes of the new Quantum Leap series was where he went into the body of a professor who had to solve a mystery of a missing Einstein paper.
That's cool. Like, I just love that he used to rock around in bare feet, not giving a shit what his clothes were like.
Guy was a
like
mess.
That photo of him sticking his tongue out, that's a real photo. And the way it's portrayed in this movie I watched last night, it's literally as news hits, because he's kind of realizing shit's getting fucked up in Germany. This is around just post World War One. And so he's, he can't get out, but the German, because he refused to sign off on development of poison gas, which obviously caused so much damage in World War One. He was the one scientist in the Berlin Science Institute, whatever they were called, that refused to sign off on it. And there's this whole debate because the British were like, German science killed hundreds of thousands of our young men. We can't be testing German scientific theory. Whereas, because David Tennant's character is a Quaker, he's like, the science is the thing.
Wow. Okay.
It's a lot of fun, this film.
Cool.
I was going to save it for Echoes, but it's come up twice now. And Andy Serkis plays a young Einstein who is a bit of a fuckboy when it comes to his wife.
Yes.
Which I already knew.
Daughter.
But, not good stuff. But also disproved fucking Isaac Newton.
Yeah.
So, literally proved one of the core bases of the world as we know it anyway.
So Ale gives Angier the flashy demonstration of electrical impulses being delivered through the atmosphere.
Well, it's the Tesla coil.
Oh, I'm talking about the lights.
That's what Tesla invented.
The light bulbs.
Yeah, no, that is what Tesla invented. He actually invented that, and then they basically discredited him, ran him out because Edison wanted the money, and now we all pay for electricity because people profiled Tesla, another neurodivergent hero, who he invented a thing. His whole thing was free electricity for everybody. Wireless. And he came up with this concept that you just have these poles and it would just spread electricity for everyone.
I thought that it never actually worked.
I think they've since proven that it did.
Wow,
it could.
0 point energy, I've heard it described as. But turns out he electrified the whole town so he could use their power whenever he needs it. I thought maybe there was salt all over the field here, and maybe that was conducting electricity between these light bulbs.
No, it was an act. This is running on the assumption that it worked.
Yeah. Fascinating.
But before he was like right, they really bring in the whole like way Edison was out to discredit Tesla, completely fucked him over, and it was. I'm obviously Team Nikola Tesla.
Yeah. Somebody's talking about Angier says magic, real magic. I'm not sure what that's in relation to.
Oh, so that whole thing about is the difference between being a magician and a sorcerer. So they talk very clearly in the books about it being that they are, the thing is the trick. They're not actually magic. The magic is that people believe the trick.
Wow.
When there's always actually usually a quite simple explanation. Whereas when they talk about real magic, that is science yet to be understood.
I found it. It was Angier narrating in his diary.
Yeah, but he's writing that diary to Borden specifically, remember?
Yeah.
And also that it's real. That's what they explore that concept a lot more in the books about sorcerer versus magician. And if you're doing something that's actually kind of like what Angier's transported man is to become, it's sorcery rather than the way Borden does it, because it's just a trick.
Right.
Like it's two different men. Whereas he actually transports.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Wow.
There you go. Answer to your question.
Next, we're at the expo. Tesla's giving a demonstration, and it is a full-on lightning spectacle. The patrons are freaking out. Borden's there. Angier takes note of him and starts trailing him. But I just wanted to say, if this is how it really looked, no wonder Tesla didn't get funding, because it looks dangerous as hell.
It was dangerous as hell. That was Edison's big thing, was that you couldn't kill the implication was that it was dangerous, even though that's what Tesla was trying to actually disprove with what I think is a Faraday cage.
Yeah, he should have had that before he did his demonstration, because we don't need arcs of lightning flying across the sky. Whether they can hurt you or not is not the issue. It looks scary.
Yeah, and it is scary. Arcing is a real thing. I used to take fault calls. But this kind of thing really, this happened. This would have been in the Crystal Palace. This would have been the World's Fair in the Crystal Palace.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think Tesla did present there. I could be wrong.
I read a great book that ended at the Crystal Palace. Oh, it was a Bartimaeus trilogy book. Might be the last one. But anyway, there's a Crystal Palace fight with monsters and stuff. It's great. So yeah, Angier leaves the hall to follow Borden. And it made me think, is Borden leading him somewhere? Because he has a brother. So maybe he's leading him into a trap. It's here I said, Borden's a mouth breather, apparently. I don't know if that's one brother or the other, but
I hate that as an insult. As someone with a deviated septum who can't breathe properly through a nose, it is not directly proportional to your intelligence.
Oh, of course not. I was just I thought maybe there was a differentiation between how Bale was acting one brother.
Oh, there is.
Versus the other. I thought maybe he has his mouth open more often.
Actually, potentially, I always notice the eyes. I think his eyes are always wider when he's being Freddy as opposed to Albert. And by the way, I think I'm wrong. I think it wasn't the one at the Crystal Palace. I think that was the prior World's Fair. I think this could have been the one in Chicago with H.H. Holmes, maybe.
Ooh.
I don't know. It's one of them. I'm not sure. And probably the date is incorrect anyway, because it's a movie.
Yeah, H.H. Holmes, what a bastard.
Yeah.
So Borden gets together with Sarah,
and the kid, and he says, "I love you," and she says, "Today it's true."
He's got much softer in the eyes when he's being that brother, I think.
Yeah. Angier writing in his diary, "I saw happiness that should have been mine."
Whereas in the book, he fucked off on his wife and kids for like a decade.
His notebook reveals that he never had the life that I envied. The family life that he craves one minute, he rails against the next, demanding freedom. His mind is a divided one.
It legitimately is.
His soul is restless. So cool.
Well, yeah, there's one who's the loving... That's the whole half-life, right?
Yeah. It's just such a crazy thing to do to your loved ones. Half the time I'm not there, even if I'm there. But yeah, in the prison, Borden's saying goodbye to his kid. Next, he's talking shit to the guard.
I love this bit.
"Maybe I'm just biding my time. Are you watching closely?"
Makes him fall over his own.
And so I think at first I was like, oh, is this when he's going to like get out? He's going to do some amazing trick and get out. No, he's just fucking with this guy.
Yeah, well, they've mentioned he's escaped before. They threw that in when they were explaining why he was so heavily locked up.
Yeah. Back at Tesla, Angier gets to see the workshop. This ball here is very sparky. And then Bowie walks in and the lightning doesn't hurt him at all. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, because the lightning wouldn't. The arcing would be directly. It's like one of the safest place. The worst way to get, the more likely you are to be hit by lightning is in like an empty open field because you're the point. Because it'll hit the highest point, and it's the same thing. Like it's drawn to the metal. That's why you have the lightning rods off the side of big tall buildings and the Eiffel Tower and stuff.
Yeah. So it turns out Mr. Alley that we've been seeing is this dude's stooge. He shows him how their bodies are connecting energy by like holding up the light bulb while they're shaking hands. Next, they're out on the patio. Gorgeous view. Having a little afternoon tea.
Outset.
Bowie says, "You're
Bowie.
familiar with the phrase?" Yes, Bowie as Tesla is fantastic. He says,
The
"You're
only
familiar with the
choice.
phrase, man's reach exceeds his grasp."
You are familiar with the phrase, man's reach exceeds his grasp. Is a lie. Man's grasp exceeds his nerve.
That is a evil scientist mission statement right there.
It's such Bowie. He's just such a brilliant addition.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do the part apparently, but then Nolan, I think went and visited him or something, convinced him.
Oh, that's cool.
Because he was literally the only choice.
Yeah. So he went too far. He got asked to retire, so he came here. Tesla thinks what Angier wants is too dangerous. He says nothing good comes of obsession. He tells him to go home.
He'd know.
And I don't know if this note is about Angier or Bowie, but I wrote he's paranoid.
I mean...
Oh, he says, "I am their slave, and one day they will choose to destroy me." I guess he's talking about the big them.
Edison.
Or is he talking about his obsession? His obsession is what he's slave to. Interesting.
I think it could be both. He's... Honestly, go read more about Nikola Tesla, particularly about his obsession with pigeons.
Ooh.
That's a lot of fun.
Weird.
Like, if I'd made this film, I would have had some pigeons around somewhere.
Yeah. When I was doing all my early UFO research as a young'un, I would come across Tesla in these tales about like all the stuff he didn't get to build and how great our society would be if it had worked out.
He invented a death ray.
Right. Angier says, "Will you build it?" And Tesla says, "I've already begun to build it." So my question here is he just selling Angier his latest, most crazy thing that nobody will want?
No, Angier has made a request.
He's already sent him exactly what he wants.
Yeah, they've been corresponding.
Okay.
That's why he gets let in.
Gotcha.
Because they're like, oh, no, wait, it's you. You're the magician guy.
Yeah. So next we get ScarJo, Olivia talking to Angier. Cutter's been letting her stay at their shop. And we get the sense that she is a moral person because she goes, "You're going to do something to that man, aren't you?"
Do you think so?
I think she does not countenance this violence. Like she's not as bad as Angier, I don't think. Like Angier is basically a murderer.
Well, he hasn't started doing the trick with the prestiges yet.
No, but he did try to murder Borden that one time.
That's true.
So he goes to Borden's show. She's worried that when he comes back from the show that he might have beaten him up. And he goes, no, he was stunned to see Borden's trick. He says, it was the greatest magic trick I've ever seen.
Yeah, because he doesn't have the instinct to understand how things are done that Cutter and Borden have.
Yeah.
We get the red
Next,
ball.
he's complaining to Cutter. He says he's a terrible magician, and Cutter's like, what does he say? A wonderful magician. He's a dreadful showman. He doesn't dress it up. Angier wants to steal it. He says, the man stole my life. I'm going to steal his trick. So Cutter's like, well, you got to have a double. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, he's got to have a double.
So they need to find a good double for Angier.
Wasn't conveniently born with one.
Yeah. So Borden must be doing pretty well money-wise because he buys or rents a fancy apartment or townhouse, something. And didn't consult with his wife at all. This is not a good thing to do.
Well, he needs another house to live in. Like, this is the thing. He needs to keep two houses. Because Fallon's got to live somewhere.
Right. Of course. Let's see. I wrote the double is a real disaster. I'm not sure.
Oh, Root. You're talking about Root.
Oh, Root.
Yeah. The
And
makeup in this is phenomenal, by the way.
Angier says to Olivia, he's out of his mind. Of course he is. He's an out-of-work actor.
Yeah.
Look, if you're a performer, you get it. We need an outlet or we get weird. We don't necessarily become a complete drunk asshole, but some of us try it. Cutter says he'll need a month to train him. On stage, Angier shows off his trick setup to Olivia, and she enjoys it. And then she wants to kiss him. And instead of just going for it like any normal human, he immediately wants to talk about Borden's show some more.
The obsession, it's ridiculous. I feel so sorry for all the women in this.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a good film for the women in it.
No.
I think they give some of the best performances, though, because they, it's often when the women are around, you can kind of tell more which brother is which.
Next, we see Root just being a messy drunk, and he is really vibing as the great Danton. And it's quite a mocking performance. He's basically humiliating him. And then we learn that Borden has been calling his trick the Transported Man, and the camera climbs to show the new Transported Man, which is just quite a
Yeah, in the book it's called
blatant-
In a Flash.
Yeah.
And he does it, he calls it other things and stuff. He's like, I'm not going to call my trick by the same name as his trick.
That's in the book?
That is in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. The book Angier just seems like such a tool.
He's incredible. Like, I can at least understand, like, some point of trigger with the justification of their obsession. Although, there is a baby, like, so when, early on, when Borden busts Angier being a mentalist and taking advantage of grieving families, he, at the time, is performing with his then wife, Julia, and she's pregnant with their first kid, and through the hustle and the bustle of Borden exposing them, she has a fall and loses the baby, which then causes them to drift apart, and then he starts sleeping with his assistant, then he leaves his wife.
Oh, no.
And the kids. They've got 3 other kids at this point. And he's gone for like a decade. He keeps them, gives them money, whatever. What's it called? A grass widow.
Wow.
I've been watching Mildred Pierce. Yeah, very good.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, so he's way worse.
Yeah, too many artists fucking try to have it all and end up pleasing no one.
Never date a comedian or a magician.
The 2 comedians I know that are in a healthy relationship are both comedians and are married to each other.
I think it's the only way it works.
Yeah. I know of somebody who's been happily married for years, but I've never met his wife. And I don't know if they have any problems behind the scenes, but...
Yeah, I'm making an exception to, like, there are examples, but it takes a certain type of person to be in a relationship with a comedian, I think. And I think most comedians would agree to that.
I mean, I guess it applies to anyone with a calling. Like, if I was in a relationship right now, could I have 2 podcasts and a live stream and role-playing game nights? You know, could I really... Like, something's got to give, right?
Yes,
Unless
totally
you
agreed.
absolutely don't care about your partner's well-being.
It's one of my major reasoning for, I don't know, I'm being quite happy in my existence, because I'm like, oh, if I was in a relationship, I'd have to, like, find time, and I know that'll come from my alone time.
Right. And so much of a relationship is compromise, so essentially you're compromising daily on stuff that's really important to you.
And often in hetero relationships, that a lot more of that labor falls to the woman.
Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Like, the not all, and certainly, like, absolutely, I mean, present company accepted, you're one of the good ones. But
I try my best.
oh, you're certainly one of the most straight dudes, absolutely. But it's there's an expectation that just there's all this additional labor that falls to the woman, which is really unappealing. And that's why you're finding a lot of, like, middle-aged women who are just like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, so that's a thing that's behind a lot of this movie. It's show night. Angier's doing some quick Orientalism. I can't remember the specific, but it was there. The crowd loved it. At the after party, he fantasies about switching up with Root, so he'll get to enjoy the applause.
And this is his undoing again, because he wants to be the man on the... His ego cannot take that he is not the one getting the cheer.
Right.
And taking the bow. Because that's the thing, he bothers him. Remember the last question he asked Borden, which of you was the man on the stage taking the bow? Which of you was the man in the box? And he's like, we took it in turn. And even Angier can't even comprehend of that. Such a shitbag.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Some performers are about the work, the process, the product, and some are about, I don't know, their own ego, their own attention.
The prestige.
Yeah.
Literally.
Right. Yeah. The normal definition for sure.
Yes.
Let's see. So Root is drunk behind a trunk as they're having this conversation. What's her name? Olivia wants to hook up. And Bro admits that he doesn't miss his wife. He's just worried about the trick. It's so fucked. She can see immediately that who she thought was a real person clearly is single focus, motivated on, I don't know, screwing
obsession.
over Borden, stealing his trick. And she's clearly not into it, the spying, but she doesn't say no. And he says, good girl.
Ugh.
Has anyone ever said good girl to you?
There are more times than I could even count.
Awful.
It happens. I'm like, there are some times when it's okay.
Right. In the context of a very consensual,
Trusting,
loving, trusting situation.
Yeah.
Sure.
But no, I'm saying in work, in life,
Wow.
in my genuine, like,
It's what you'd say to a kid or even a dog. It's not for adult women.
This is site example number one of you being a good ally. The fact that you don't even comprehend that men do this all the time.
It sucks. Let's see. Tesla's showing off the machine. It's actually working now. And it zaps his top hat, but it's still there. So the guy thinks nothing happened. Great effect, by the way. The hat being like zapped by all the lightning and shit. And then puff of smoke. So when we see that the hat's still there, it's like, what the hell is this? So they tell him to come back next week. Back in the workshop, Borden's workshop, Olivia shows up and she's here to do her spy thing. And he is really cocky. Like he's nailed what her game is. And I get the sense that he thinks he can charm her into being his pawn.
That is because it's the other brother.
It's the bad one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie.
Well, and it's also the same one that's falling for her, so it makes sense that...
Yes, that's why, I mean, the women, you can tell more which brother it is when they are interacting with one of the women in their life.
Right. So next, Borden is performing across the street. Root's making more demands. And Cutter says, you got to stop. Once they try to blackmail you, it's over. You just got to walk. And Angier's like, nope, we keep it rolling.
Yeah. Again, line to, like, Cutter's always talking sense and Angier's always ignoring him.
Yeah, and this is one of the classic blunders. This is George W. Bush. You stick with the horse you rode through the stream or whatever.
Doubling down.
Yeah. You can't change horses midstream. That's what he said. That one time. Stupid.
I always think of the Well episode of The Simpsons. It's like, you gotta dig up, stupid.
We'll dig our way out.
Now dig up, stupid.
You mentioned this a couple times. I should just go watch it.
Oh, the Simpsons episode with the well. We're sending our love down that well. It's a classic.
And we're sending our love down the well. All the way down. We're sending our love down the well. Down that well.
Next, Borden approaches Root himself, and Root is getting fucked up, being extra annoying.
And he plants the idea.
And Borden, this is devious. Borden's basically telling him a good magician wouldn't risk using a double because they get power over him. The quote here is, "When I incorporated this bloke into my act, he had complete power over me." Basically just seeding it in this drunk guy's mind, like, I'm going to be the boss.
Here, I'm giving you this gift on a platter.
Yeah. But so vague that, like, he couldn't even pass on what this guy said to Angier. Like, it wouldn't really
No,
be
and
a
why would he?
smoking
Because
gun.
he's pretending he thinks Root is Angier.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and this is that thing con men do where, like, if they can get the con-e, the mark, to buy in and be bad themselves, that's when you've got them on the hook.
They do their they're doing your dirty work for you.
Yeah. So at the show, Root is really hamming it up.
Plants a non-consensual snog on ScarJo.
Oh, Root does. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Root is gross, though. Imagine how fun that would have been for Nice Guy. I can imagine. Oh, he might have hated it. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to play bad.
Oh, yeah. I like playing villains on my podcast.
Same thing. Like, how often does Hugh Jackman get to play a narcissistic asshole like that?
Right. Yeah.
Because you generally cast him as the nice guy. That's why I love him in this. This is one of my favorite Jackman movies.
Yeah.
Because he's playing against type.
So he's doing his show, and he falls through the hole, and his fucking beanbag isn't there, so he gets hurt. Borden shows up and then goes up the elevator and starts hamming it up on stage. And then Root is playing Danton is lowered down from the ceiling with a sign around him that says "Opening at Pantages, the Professor."
Yeah. Le Professeur de Magique, as he is called in the book.
That's
He
great.
pretends to be French.
And it made me realize all of a sudden he's actually a showman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once he got his trick nailed down, he turned up all the bells and whistles. And this is the kind of publicity stunt that puts all eyes on you.
And I always imagine this is Freddy. This is the more magic obsessed twin of the two.
Right.
Like, they both are, but one is more magic obsessed than the other.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, Cutter's talking to Angier. He's like, "Do you think it was her?" And Angier starts going off on Olivia. So he's not liking how that turned out, his little trick to send her as a spy.
Well, she started sleeping with him. They fell in love.
Right. "I sent you to steal his secret, not to improve his act." Ugh. He is really shitty here.
I actually have a note here that it says, "What happened, Nolan? Who hurt you?" To write these characters, I'm like, oh my god. Dude, get some therapy, Sir Christopher.
So she tells him that she's been seeing signs of dude.
Yeah, double. She's like, he's right, he uses the double.
He says he leaves them lying around to make you think that. Crazy. just is unwilling to listen to her and take in her knowledge.
He never figures it out because he can't comprehend it.
She says he doesn't know when I'm looking. And he goes, all the time, Olivia. That's who he is. That's what it takes. He lives his act. Don't you see?
And he sent her with the notebook.
So she's taking off and she says, the great Danton is a blind fool. And she hands him the coded diary. He wants to keep it. He tells her to leave Borden. And she's not going to do that.
Yeah, she's shacked up with him.
Yeah, the reason she cites is that she lives there. She's afraid, you know.
Yeah, so they have her living at the magic workshop in this, whereas he's properly shacked up with her in the books.
She says, it won't bring your wife back. And he goes, I don't care about my wife. Like, Jesus, guy. I care about his secret. And yeah, she seems really stunned to discover that he's basically a snake. To patch things up, he says he'll stage a break-in so they'll come after him instead of her. And she admits that she's fallen in love with Borden.
Borden sent her with the diary, though.
Say that again?
Distract him. Borden sent her with the diary to distract him.
Oh, of course. Yes, we all know this. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to do a part 2.
Okay.
Shocking no one.
No.
So
I'll be impressed if we get it in 2.
Yeah. So give us that rec you were talking about.
So I have 2. First, Edison and Einstein, which is the David Tennant, Andy Serkis. It's on HBO Max here. I just was picking a random movie that I hadn't seen, and the performance from Andy Serkis and David Tennant, both of them, it's really, really interesting. Jim Broadbent's in it. You get some good people. And the podcast I wanted to recommend is What Went Wrong, where they explore like super famous movies that had lots of issues through production and development, that like so much went wrong behind the scenes. But yeah, so it's a really interesting take on discussing a movie. As someone who deep dives on through the IMDb trivia a lot, they've definitely taught me some things I didn't know, which is cool.
Cool. That's great.
So yeah, get around What Went Wrong.
Okay. I've pretty much recommended everything a dozen times, so I'll probably just skip for the day. I guess I can give another plug to the Untitled Star Trek project. They're still doing their thing. They're fantastic.
Oh, I've got actually. Oh, I can slot in a couple of extra actually. Riot Women.
Yes.
It's amazing. Sally Wainwright, Amanda Brocci, people we love. It has got a bunch of awesome British actors. It's about a bunch of perimenopausal women who form a punk band, which is honestly the most punk thing ever. Like, if anybody's got something to be angry about, it's got Tamsin Greig, Fran from Black Books. It's even got, who's the straw monster from Smith and Jones?
Oh, was that Maggie Smith?
No. Maggie Smith is the Dowager Countess in Downton Abbey, and she's dead. This is brand new. But yeah, that actress turns up in a bunch of things. There's people you've seen in, I would say, most of them have been in Doctor Who at one point or another. Like, you know what it is. All the British have like 12 actors and they turn up in everything. Yeah, watch Riot Women and watch season 2 of Deadlock.
Cool. Okay. I found Gardens of Evil Inside the Zion Society Cult. I got through all the episodes about the cult and all its workings and stuff. They're moving on to other things.
Oh, can you send me a link? I love a cult.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah, it's a Mormon Latter-day Saints sort of fringe breakaway cult. It's very cool.
Oh, yeah, no, send me that. I'll listen to that.
All right. Well, thank you, Jessie, and thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care of yourselves. Be good to each other, and yeah, have fun.
Yeah.
Are you watching closely?
A huge thanks to James Lark of jameslark.co.uk for providing our wonderful theme song. Thank you, James.